doesn't look like the room is 5 feet apart. Where are my luxury accommodations? JK, this is what an actual hospital room looks like. So I am officially settling in to my new home away from home. Got my PJs on, unpacked my bags, set up my little kitchen area just the way I like it, because I know how to hospital. Got my squishmallow, super important. Oh, and the kitchen area is extra stocked this time, because one of the things that we do on the holiday of Purim is give each other food baskets. So it was great. I didn't have to go shopping for snacks this time. I just sat at home and the snacks came to me and I bagged them all up, brought them here. One of the lovely perks of my hospital is I almost always get a mini fridge, which is amazing. So I can bring my own food, which is so much better than hospital food. So tonight will probably be more settling in, but more from a medical perspective. It always takes a few hours to figure out my whole med regimen and get everything from the pharmacy and get all the orders in. Soon they're going to be taking me for a CAT scan, and I'll probably be doing all kinds of other tests. But by tomorrow morning, we should have the basic medical routine when it comes to like pills and nebulizers and whatnot settled down. And then when it comes to, you know, testing and tweaking meds and all that, that will be an ongoing process. But yeah, day one in the hospital, here we go. As usual, the first 24 hours have been very busy. A lot of tests, a lot of consults. I've had a lot of blood taken out of me. Fortunately, I have a port, so they can just take the blood from there, and I don't have to get stuck every time, which is very, very nice. I had a CT scan of my chest, in which we determined that I do not have a pulmonary embolism, yay, but I do have pneumonia in both lower lobes, not yay. They can't really tell if the pneumonia is from like a bacterial viral infection thing, or if it's from aspirating reflux while I sleep. Maybe both, could be both. Why not both? So that makes things a little tricky because I kind of need to try different things. So I got to have all kinds of consults today. I saw, well, of course I saw like the regular pulmonary team. So they said the plan is to, for now, keep me on the antibiotics, fluids that I'm on, do a whole lot of chest PT, and nebulizers, airway clearance, and give me through the weekend to see if I show any improvement. If I don't, then they are leaning towards starting treatment for a mycobacterium that I have been culturing lately, Mycobacterium chelonae. They have not treated it until now because it's complicated to treat, so they're kind of treating all the other things first. But we got rid of all the other stuff. Still don't feel better. So now, if I don't feel better by Monday, then they're leaning towards working on treating that. Problem is that treatment takes months of taking multiple antibiotics. They said 2 oral antibiotics, 1 IV antibiotic. And unfortunately for me, the IV antibiotic is tobramycin. I already have permanent tinnitus ringing in my ears from previously taking tobramycin. I didn't take it for a year, and then we kind of gave it a shot in December when I was having some problems, and at the end of a week the tinnitus had started getting louder, getting worse, so we stopped it. So I already know that if I'm on Tobra for any amount of time, I will have tinnitus, and it can also cause hearing loss. So if I'm already having ringing in my ears, I'm a little concerned about possible hearing loss issues. But on the other hand, I kind of need to breathe. So we'll see what happens. The other piece is the aspiration possibility. So I had a consult with interventional radiology, and we are going to change my G tube to a GJ tube on Monday, because a J tube goes further down into the digestive system, so it's less likely to be causing reflux when I do my overnight feeds. Now, the temporarily disappointing part about that is that they don't carry GJ buttons in the hospital. My tube right now is called a button. It's very little and unobtrusive. Apparently in the hospital they only have the tubes that kind of like dangle out of you, which I am not really a fan of. But they said that if I, get through, either just, I don't know, go online and buy it myself, or maybe possibly go through my medical suppliers and get the GJ button, that I can then come back to them and they'll fix it. They'll replace it with the button so that I do not have tubes dangling out of my stomach. But in the meantime, that could take a while. We don't know how long it'll take for me to actually get my hands on that. So we're gonna first do the dangly tube, and I will just put up with it for however many weeks it takes to get the one that I want. Who else did I see today? I saw a dietary, so we could talk about my overnight tube feeds and make sure I have all my stuff together there. I saw speech pathology, so they could, make me chew and swallow stuff and just make sure that I'm not aspirating stuff immediately. I feel like I might have seen other people today, but I can't even remember at this point, because that's what the first 24 hours in the hospital is always like, is you just see lots and lots of people. I'm also functioning on very little sleep, because I woke up coughing my brains out at 2:30 in the morning and then could not fall back asleep for a few hours. I've caught a couple of naps since then, but I'm not really sure why I'm so awake and chipper right now. Maybe it's the prednisone. It always amuses me when people hear you're going in the hospital and are like, "Oh, I hope you get some rest. Make sure you rest up." I'm like, you've clearly never been in a hospital, because nobody gets sleep in the hospital. That's just not a thing that happens. It's loud, and there's a lot of lights. There's people coming in and poking and prodding you at ungodly hours. Sleep is not a thing that happens here. But sleep is not a thing that was happening at home either, with me running infusions all the time. So maybe I'm just getting used to not sleeping. So that's my first 24 hours in the hospital. And now we're sliding into the weekend, so things are usually a little more chill then. And then everything will ramp back up with procedures and consults and who knows what, oh my, starting again on Monday. See you then.